Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Seth and this is my 2019 GMTK Game Jam experience. I actually didn't even know there was a Game Jam until 12 hours after it had already started. On top of that, it was already 2 AM and that's roughly 4 hours past my bedtime, so I had to hit the snooze for the night. After seeing the theme only one, I thought for a few minutes and settled on one of the first ideas I had. You essentially play as a cell fighting off the spread of multiplying cells. In the morning, I cleaned up the crudely written movement controller and got it working much better. Then I proceeded to work on the cells. Initially, I wanted to make a cell swarming system where a single cell would spawn and then replicate like a real cell. Instead, I went with the circular sprite mask and tiling circles. It looked pretty good, but I later switched to a sprite sheet animation. At some point, I created a weapon system which works just perfect, but the Game Jam build only has one weapon to showcase it. That was pretty much the entirety of the mechanic side of things. I then just made some artifacts and UI. The score and health systems are the most interesting portion. I set a radius to confine the player, but I also used it to calculate the play area. I then used the radius of the circle colliders for the bacteria to calculate the area of the finished bacteria. And then I sum up the consumed area, and then I get the fill percent, which I subtract from 1 to get the health. The spawn system works by picking a random point inside the play area every 1 second. On top of that, every cell that finishes automatically spawns another cell on the play area. The level has a finishing score set at 500,000. Every time you hit something, it is worth 100 points, but the time between hits is tracked on a graph and multiplied with the base point value. The name that I settled on is Unam Cellulam, which is basically just one cell in Latin. It's pretty simple, but it kind of sounded cool, so I thought I'd settle with it. Alright, let's actually start playing the game. So the menu, the background basically just loops spawning these forever. The music was all made by me. The options doesn't work at all, so it's just kind of pointless. But let's play. So you have to like hold down right click to turn and like aim essentially. Otherwise you just like strafe and move, but if you do this then it's relative to where you're looking. It pretty quickly gets hard if you just let some grow. Like if you just, over time the spawn rate decreases, but it whenever one finishes it automatically spawns another one, so you want to keep like the population down. Otherwise it just gets really fucking hard. But we'll let a few like finish here. Like that one and that one. And in the future I might make it so instead of just like right when it finishes it spawns the next one, it basically just adds to the amount to spawn every interval. But as you can see at the top, my health has decreased because I have a couple that are like finished. Overall, the project was really fun and honestly ended up a lot better than my last Game Jam. I learned a lot of cool stuff and I'm definitely going to participate in the next one.